Cap.
Helmet. That's not a cap, it's a helmet. Cap will not protect, but helmet does, right? Why? Why do you need a helmet? Tell me.
Protect the head.
To protect the head. Very, very nice answer. Okay, so he is riding on a bike. That means he is very likely to be injured, right? Very likely that he can fall down and he get an injury, right? And he is also very likely get a head injury, knee injury, elbows, we don't know, right? So he needs some protection. When he is riding a bicycle, he needs some protection, right? So yes, let's see. Now, we need protection too. How? Auntie, why do we always need to wear a helmet and knee pads and elbow pads when we are out in the world? Jesus is talking about a full armor and a protection. Armor is a protection, okay? Jesus is talking about a protection. When you are in this world, you need to have some kind of protection, he said, okay? Why do we need a protection? Who is going to attack us? So what happened here is, when Satan was also an angel in heaven, he tried to mess up there, right? So then God kicked him out of heaven and he fell down on the earth. Okay, now he is trying to rule the world now. He is controlling the world now. He's no more in heaven. He was trying to take over in heaven, but God kicked him out. So that's why he came into this world and he is trying to take over this world. World in the sense, people, right? It is not the land, it is not the trees, it's not animals. He is trying to take over the people, right? Okay, so how is he going to take over? He is trying to take over like drugs, money, witchcraft, and taking all of our time, taking all of our time on the phone, on the internet, on the television, on the music, he is taking all our time and energy off so that we can become useless. We can become useless, and then eventually we will come into his world, right? So on the picture right side, you see that he is taking control over our minds, over our habits, over our heart, okay? So he's trying to get control of us by introducing all the bad things to us, right? So now God is suggesting that now the prince of this world, who is the prince of this world now, is Satan, right? He's also got a name called Prince, of this world, okay? And he is taking over. So you need a complete protection to guard yourself. It is not like we have to put on everything like this and walk. It is not in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense, okay? We need a helmet, we need the breastplate, we need the belt, we need the sword, we need the shield, and we need the shoes. Okay, what kind of shoes, what kind of things do we need? Okay, we're gonna explore today and learn about it today. Okay, so it is called the full armor of God. It is called the full armor of God. We have to be covered because we are in this world. We are very likely to be attacked by Satan. Okay, and Satan is using the darts, like the arrows. He's shooting on us. If he is shooting on us, we need to protect ourselves, right? So God is suggesting to put on the full armor of God. God is giving us a full armor so we can be protected and save ourselves, okay, from the attack of the enemy of this world. Okay, so here we see, we're gonna read Ephesians chapter 6, 10 to 18. Okay, everybody open to Ephesians. Before we do that, we're gonna sing the song. The best book to read is the Bible. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's read the Bible. Before that, we're gonna sing the song. The best book to read is the Bible. The best book to read is the Bible. If you read every
is the
day,
Bible.
it will help you all the way.
If you
Oh,
read
the
it,
best book to read
it will
is
help
the
you all the way.
Bible.
All the best.
Can you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Bible.
Yeah, very good. Okay, let's open to Ephesians chapter 6. If you have Bibles, you can open it, or the words are already given on the screen. We can read it, okay? So I'm going to read one verse and you can read the other one, okay? Let's go. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Your turn. Gentrix, you can read the second one and we can continue. Yeah, alternate reading. Responsive reading. Yeah, Sharon, if you're ready, you can read it.
Yes, Auntie.
Yeah, go ahead. 12th verse.
Yes. For we are not fighting against human beings, but against the wicked spiritual forces in the heavenly world, the rules, authorities, and the cosmic powers of the dark age.
Yeah, we are not fighting against the flesh and blood, but we are fighting. Whom are we fighting? The dark forces, spiritual forces, evil of the heavenly realm, okay? Upper realm. We are talking about some forces, authorities, which are working against us, okay? Next verse. Okay, therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, okay, 14, you can read now.
Stand therefore, having fastened
Stand firm then with the belt
Okay, I want everybody
around
together
your-
to read it. Okay, everybody together. Stand firm then with the belt. Okay, go ahead.
that with the truth buckled on your waist, with the just in place,
And with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. Go ahead, 16.
at all times carry faith as a shield, for with it you will be able to put out all the burning arrows shot by the evil one.
Yeah, okay. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is word of God. Last one.
and pray in the Spirit on occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so what we are seeing here in this word is God is suggesting us to put on the full armor of God. Okay, so why do we need to put on full armor of God? Because there is some dark forces. There are some authorities who are evil forces that are working against us. Okay, so it is better for us to put on the full armor of God so we can be protected. Like a soldier, if he's going to the war, then if he go without any armor, what happens to him? Tell me what happens to him. If a soldier is going to the war without putting anything on him and then just go to the... Pardon me?
You will die.
He will die. Exactly, right?
He will die.
He will get injury and he will die, right? He need to put on the head to protect. So if anybody attack him, the head is all protected, right? And if anybody pierce him with a sword in the chest, then he need to have a breastplate on, right? And he will be walking on a very bad terrains. Terrains are the is the ground where it is uneven. Okay, so he need to have a firm, nice, good shoes, right? And he also need a good sword to fight off the evil, right? So all these things, where are we getting the spiritual armor of God? Where are we getting it? From the Lord, from the Bible, right? So what do we need? What do we need? We need a helmet of... Okay, let's look into each one now. Okay, first is belt of truth. First is belt of truth, which is the belt of truth holds together other pieces of armor. Okay, so in those days, they have an armor which binds everything together. Okay, so it keeps everything in place, right? Why do we need a belt? Tell me. So that our pant and shirt and our dress keeps in place, right? So that is why we need the belt of truth. Other pieces of armor allows a soldier to operate efficiently and effectively on the battlefield. Without truth, the rest of the armor would be of no use. So this will keep us all in place. The belt of truth keeps us in place. Okay, it tucks it in place and keeps us firm and safe. So we all have to be the good soldiers of Christ, right? And we are expected to get the attacks from the Satan, from all kinds, all kinds, in the sense, are we really fighting out with a sword? No, we are not. But it's a spiritual warfare that it is not seen, right? Just like, see, now we are fighting COVID. Can you actually see COVID? No, we don't, but it exists, right? It does exist. It's the same thing like that, okay? We are fighting the dark forces, unseen dark forces, okay? It just comes in without our knowledge and attacks us, and maybe take off our time from the good things, right? Okay, let's look into the other one. Surprisingly, God says what? The belt of truth is the first piece of armor to put on. Okay, now, helmet of salvation. Helmet of salvation means assurance of salvation. Salvation is born again spirit. Okay, putting on the helmet of salvation means that we are in the battle and will face attacks on our salvation and on the work that God has done for us. It brings us eternal security. What does salvation bring? Salvation brings eternal security. We are secured for good, for not just for this life, but for eternity, right? So Satan is always trying to build his army. He needs people too, right? He's trying to get us into his army by destroying our lives. For our hope is in God. We can depend on his promises. How does helmet help? Helmet helps us to protect when we enter the battlefield of the mind. Mind battlefield. What does that mean? Do I go to a movie or do my homework? Do I play my sports or help mommy in the kitchen? This is the battle, right? It is the battle. We have to win it over. Do we continue to waste our time playing online games, or do we do anything constructive? Learn some art, learn some skills. Is there anything like that? Okay, this is the thing that we have to battle it out, right? Where the devil can deal harsh, sometimes fatal blows, right? It can attack us very brutally. So we have to be really careful. Now, breastplate of righteousness. This breastplate is used to protect the vital organs. See, if a heart is failed, can anybody function? No, right? If a heartbeat is stopped, entire body is stopped, right? So it's important. If the lungs are not functioning, that means we are not breathing. If you're not breathing, we are dead, right? So all the important organs are there in the region of the breastplate. So we need to put on the breastplate. Means the feelings, emotions, our will and mindset, these are all here in the heart area, right? So we need to protect all our emotions, okay? Not getting too much anger, not feeling too low, not getting high, you know, we have to keep that thing going on, right? The righteousness purchased for us by Jesus at the cross. 2 Corinthians 5:20. At salvation, a breastplate is issued to each repentant sinner. When we accept the Lord, a righteousness breastplate is given to us. It is specially designed by God to protect our heart and soul from evil and deception. Okay, you want to continue or you want to continue next week? You want to do it now or continue next week? I'm asking you if you want to continue now. Okay, sure. Okay, shield of faith. Shield of faith means a soldier who is going in the battle also need a shield to protect, right? He will be holding a sword in one hand and a shield in other hand, right? To defend. If an attack is coming, he will put it across, and so that it will attack the shield, not the person. Okay, the fiery darts of the wicked one, those fiery darts can take many shapes and forms, because Satan is always looking for effective ways to attack us where we are weak. Oh, this child is very much interested in the games. Maybe I have to take all of the time off so I can make him useless. So he will come into my team, you know. So Satan is trying to attack us in very different forms. Oh, I'm a very disobedient child, so I will try to make this child disobedient to parents, you know. So he will not listen to parents and he will come into my team. So in different ways, he's attacking us. Okay, and the next one. Double-edged sword is the word of God. Okay, what is the word of God? It's our Bible. Bible is the word of God. If we are full of word of God, then nothing can attack us. We can just destroy everything with the powerful sword, which is the word of God. Okay, double-edged swords were most common in the ancient world. Double-edged swords were very common because from this side and the other side also, it can cut from both sides. Okay, when we are using the word of God, it it can pierce us through too, because if you misuse it, it can cut us through, right? And it will also correct us. Bible will also correct us and the other people too. That is why it's called the double-edged sword. The gospel cuts and heals us at the same time, like the surgeon's scalpel. It cuts through the flesh, diving through the souls and spirits of joints and marrows, and it exposes and covers. So it has multiple functions, right? So it can also destroy the enemy. It can also correct us. It works both ways. Now, shoes allows us to walk on all types of grounds without fear, right? The gospel of peace, shoes, it represents the gospel of peace, allows us to move with confidence. Yes, nothing is going to attack my feet. If your feet get imagine if you have a thorn in your feet, can you function? Can you walk? No, it's going to hurt, right? You cannot function. Even if you have a sword, even if you have anything, you won't be able to function properly. So you need to have the full armor of God for the feet as well. It is the gospel of peace, okay? So that we can sustain the painful trials, tribulations, fear. We can conquer the fear, everything with the peace, okay? Gospel of peace. We can win over any kind of situation.